You know, I've kind of had a headache all day and also going in to see this movie, but I have to say it did make me forget I had a headache. Hello everyone, welcome back to 3D reviews, not 3D 40X reviews like I thought it was going to be, because Regal decided to turn around at the last second and get rid of all the late showings for 3D 40X TMNT and put the Meg 2 in there instead. So I just saw it in regular 3D. What a shame, what a crime. It's truly the end of the world. But what isn't the end of the world is this movie right here. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem is all about the origin behind the titular Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. How many times am I going to say that throughout this video? So you have the TMNT team, right? And they want to live on the surface world with the rest of the humans. They want to be accepted because they kind of hate living in the sewer all the time. They want to go to school, they want to watch movies, they want to fit in, they want to meld. But they just can't because humans are afraid of mutants. I mean, who wouldn't be? They're scary. I mean, if you saw a mutant like that in real life, you'd probably freak out too. But you see, there's this group of mutants led by a guy named Superfly that want to take this human technology and use it to make a mutant ray that's going to turn all the animals on Earth into mutants to take over the human race. And of course, the turtle team has to step up with the help of April O'Neil to stop him. And that is the premise of the movie. It is a very short, clear, concise premise, and the movie, which is only a 90-minute runtime, is very well paced. It keeps going, it keeps moving, and yet it doesn't feel like it's going too fast. The one word I can use to describe this movie is genuine. That was the first thing that I said to my film bro friend after the credits started rolling. This feels like a very genuine, natural movie made by people who weren't trying so hard to be cool or hip. It felt like it was just, it was okay being itself. It felt very modern, but not in a bad way. And I think that casting teenagers to actually voice the teenagers this time around was a very good idea and a very big step into making it feel that way. I wouldn't even call it voice acting. It genuinely feels like these kids, they just put a microphone down there and they just let the kids say whatever and just go off and have a good time. It really feels like people that are just hanging out, having a good time, goofing around, and also they gotta save the world. It's all very natural, and that was like one of the things that surprised me the most. I was just kind of shocked at how easily this could have been cringe, but it wasn't. There's a line in this movie, it's not even like it shrouded it. It cleared the line, and it was like, yeah, this is just it. The movie is what it is. I don't even know if this is a good way to describe the movie. I'm telling you guys now, it is a good time. It is a feel-good time. It is a lot of fun. You really get into these characters, and since it is focused primarily on the characters, the whole plot about the Super Ray, it's all stuff that's in the background. It doesn't really matter. The main focus is the turtles themselves, and they are just so charismatic. Usually kids and teenagers are very annoying, especially not like the trailer made them seem annoying, but I think a lot of people could get the impression from the trailer that it's going to be annoying and the teenagers are going to be obnoxious, and that is not at all the case here. They are very charismatic, very interesting, very wonderful characters, and you love it. And this movie does go a lot harder. I think a lot of kids' movies, I hate to call it like a kids' movie, but a lot of animated movies are pushing boundaries. They're not afraid to not be sterile and safe. One of the biggest issues, I think, the reason why a lot of people are getting tired of like Disney and Pixar is because they play a lot of things really sterile and safe, and they're trying really hard. People can tell when they're trying so hard to like be hip or cool or modern. This movie isn't trying to do any of those things, and it isn't afraid to be a little edgy. and it isn't afraid to be a little dark when it needs to be. It hits the mark. It hits the bullseye right in the center. I'm really talking this movie up. I haven't even gotten to the visuals yet, which we're going to talk about now. So obviously you can draw the parallels with Spider-Verse, but I would say that this is a completely different style from Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse opened the box, opened the gate, the door, the window, the whatever, the dam, whatever you want to call it, for studios to start experimenting with different styles in CG. And this movie has taken a very graphic novel approach. Whereas Spider-Verse is more of a comic book approach, and Puss in Boots was more of a watercolor, painterly approach, this is like a graphic novel approach. It is just absolutely stunning to look at. The character designs, the animation, everything about it is just so cool. The art direction, it's very unique. It's very much its own style. I think that should be commended. Let's transition into talking about the 3D. I've talked about this movie enough. Let's talk about the 3D. It's the whole point of these reviews. Right out of the gate, regardless of everything that I'm about to say about the 3D, and that's not a good or a bad statement, seeing this graphic novel style, which is obviously trying to emulate a 2D image style, in 3D, it's like an optical illusion on top of what is already an optical illusion. It is so cool. There's so many little details, and like the way that things look and the way that they're drawn, and it feels very handmade. Using the 3D to help all of those handmade lines and paint strokes, and even though it's all CG, making all of it pop, giving everything its own definition and volume and placement goes a long way. The 3D and the art style in this movie feel like a match made in heaven. It is a very good, perfect mix. Just seeing this art style and this animation in 3D is worth price of admission alone. But I think they also use the 3D very well. Rather than making a whole bunch of big 3D moments for it, this movie feels like it uses 3D as a natural extension of itself, of the art style. While it all looks very cool, you also have these moments where there are pop-outs, but it's not really overtly and in your face about it. It's kind of like how Rio used the 3D, where the character, the bird's beaks would like come in and out of the screen, and it was a very cool effect. And it wasn't throwing it in your face, but it was something there that I noticed. And the same thing here, where the characters, the way they're placed, or when a character's talking to other characters and they're kind of out of the screen. When characters throw items, there's a few moments where there are, you know, maybe they were avert pop-outs, where there's like a canister that's flying around a room at one point and it slams into one of the characters, and there's like a moment where it flashes and it's like really up in your face, where I actually kind of flinched a little bit at that moment. The 3D just feels like a natural extension of the story and the art style, and much like the rest of the movie, it feels very genuine and natural. There are a few moments where they do push the 3D a little bit deeper that I noticed during particularly intense moments, as you normally do. Right off the top of my head, I can think of two shots where they really pushed it, and both of them are focused on April O'Neil having to deal with speaking in front of a camera. And I was like, oh, they made it deeper, they made it more intense because she's feeling really intense in this moment. I would highly recommend seeing this movie in 3D because it just really rounds out the experience. It really does add to this movie, and I think you're going to be doing a disservice if you don't see it in 3D. And in fact, if this movie gets a 3D Blu-ray, I will probably look at picking it up because it's just a really solid experience. And honestly, that's all I can really ask for. It just looks cool. And I think that makes all the difference in the world. Anyway, thank you guys for checking this video out. I really appreciate you guys watching this. I know I haven't uploaded the second part of the train video. It's in the thing. I'm working on a larger project for another thing that's taking a lot of my time. You all have a great day. Go check out Team T. It was a lot of fun. I might see you guys for the Meg 2. I actually heard it was really bad, and I don't even know if I want to go through the hassle of using my only other day off this week to go see a bad movie. So anyway, peace out guys. Have a great day.